share this story with
Okay, guys, stay with me. Stay with me. So what we did, I started the recording again because the iPad went off everywhere. So again, factors with the items inside the parentheses, we're going to create those and then we're going to figure out what they are. We need, what's the point of origin on a graph?
That's where you start.
It's like zero.
Yes, and it's 0. So what we're going to do, and on a graph, it's how far things are. 0 is kind of the base, the beginning of all. So we're going to solve these, make everything equal 0. So we're going to have to rearrange each one of these so that we have everything on one side of the equal mark and a 0 on the other side. When you move things from one side of the equal mark to the other, what happens to the sign of that number? It changes. So for number 1, we always want the lead coefficient to stay positive. So it would be easier to move the b squared over, but it would be negative. So we have to move everything else to the left.
Can we just divide it by
No, ma'am. We could once we get it over there. Yes, you could. So we'll have b squared, and then that's going to be plus 6b plus 5. Now, let me say this also. If you were working this up and maybe the numbers on the right side of the equal mark were in a different order, and you moved it over and you had 6b plus 5 plus 6b, rearrange that. That's mine, I'm sorry. Rearrange it so that you have the b squared and then the b and then the constant. All right, so factor. What do you get that when we multiply to get 5, we add to get 6?
It's 5 and 1.
Yes, so we're going to have b plus 1, b plus 5. Does that make sense? So far, nothing new.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now it's time to solve. We take each.
Wait, Miss.
Go ahead.
The 0.
Okay, the 0 is the point of origin.
Oh, okay.
The 0 is where everything starts. And so to solve, we have to say it equals 0 to figure out what its actual value is going to be. Okay? So we take each one of our parentheses.
Oh, so, why did you move everything to the left? Like, why couldn't you just move the B2 over?
Okay. If we did, then the lead coefficient would be negative. We need the lead coefficient to stay positive. As the girls stated earlier, if we move it over, then we still got to multiply everything by -1 to make the b squared positive.
So we have to put this in like standard form?
Yes. To be able to factor it, that always has to be in standard. All right.
And what is standard? Is that like square plus variable equals number?
Square plus variable plus constant. Going in descending order by exponent.
Are we going to be graphing this?
Eventually. All right. So let's just solve the problem first. Okay. So we'll say b plus 1, and that equals 0. So what is b going to be, just to isolate?
-1.
-1. Then when we say b plus 5 equals 0, then what does b equal?
5.
No.
-5.
-5.
Oh, yeah.
So your two answers, you can say b equals -1 or -5.
So, wait.
Please don't talk for a second. So what that means, you can take each one of these separately, plug it back in to your b squared, and you'll get 0 equals 0. So if you said -1 squared is +1. And then -1 times a +6 is -6. So 1 minus 6 plus 5. This is substituting in. And so that gives you -5 plus 5, and that gives you 0. The same thing would happen with -5. You would have 5 minus 30 plus 5. And so that's going to give us 0.
Okay.
All right, now, and let me explain why you're going to have two answers. eventually we are going, first, what variable do we normally use? Now, these are using all
X.
kinds, but normally we're working about the x, right? And when we're on graphing, where is x? What is an x? What's it referencing in graphing?
The x-intercept.
Okay, so here is our x, if we were to have this. This is just giving you a food for thought. Here's our y. When we will learn to graph these, we will create what's called a parabola.
What?
I know it's a fun word. Say it with me. Parabola.
I've heard that one.
It is a U-shaped graph that is either going to go this way, like a smiley face, or this way, like a frowny face.
Brownie.
No, we go smiley this time. Lead coefficient being positive makes it a smiley face. If we have a lead coefficient that's negative, it'll be a frowny face.
Okay.
So, it's a smiley face. These values, -1 and -5, is where the parabola will cross the x-axis.
Brownie.
So, it will be a smiley face, -1, -5, and it will look something like that.
Wait, I thought the parabola is negative, it's frowny if the number is negative.
There's two negatives.
If the lead coefficient is negative, it's a frowny face.
But the
If
lead coefficient
is positive, so it's a happy face.
is the lead coefficient B or -1?
It's the 1 in front of the b squared.
Wait, then how come it's a happy face if it's...
Because the b squared right here is positive. Well, y'all, we're not graphing right now. I was just showing you something. We're not getting into the details.
I could ask a serious question real quick.
Wait,
I don't know.
parabola is legit. Wait,
Okay, looking at number 2.
she just said legit.
Figure out.
What's up?
She gets
So-
flagella.
You said at the very beginning that you moved everything to one side to make it positive, right?
Mm-hmm.
To make the lead coefficient positive. So if we try to do that every single time, then there's never going to be.
Just hang with me. Things change. For right now. I was waiting for someone to pick up on that. You were listening.
I do listen.
You do. All right. Girls in the back. We're on number 2. So we've got to isolate. There is no constant. In other words, a number without a variable. So we're going to have b squared. What's next?
Move the B over and that equals 0?
But when we move the b over, what does it become?
Negative.
Negative
So we moved
B.
the B over to the left.
So, what's the first thing we always check for?
If
Lead
they're like the
coefficient.
same, if like anything...
GCF.
GCF. Woo. And is there a GCF for this?
B.
Yeah.
They both share a b.
Oh yeah.
What are we left with?
B plus B. I mean B minus
B,
B.
1 minus 1.
b
Zero.
B
minus
minus
1 equals 0. All right, we still have 2 factors. This is our greatest common factor, and then we have the parenthesis work. So we take each and make them equal to 0. So b equals 0. Well, that's an option. And then the b minus 1 becomes where b equals 1. So our solution for number 2 is going to be 0, 1. And if you think about it, 0 squared is 0. And what's 1 squared? 1.
Wait, can you
So that
explain
works.
How we got 0? Like, just kind of like...
Sure, because we took each factor separately and made it equal 0. B is considered a factor. It's the greatest common factor. So B equals 0, and there you go. Can't go any further.
Miss, Dr.
Sir.
I don't know why I keep saying this, but,
That's okay.
The top part. Why is the brackets like that?
You can't, they're not an ordered pair. It's not parentheses, so it means a set.
Do we have to do it special?
The
like that, or
solution
can we
set.
just, like,
You can do, I did it on purpose 2 different ways. I will take this, B equals, or I would take this. I won't be picky. You may end up with future teachers that require it one way,
So,
but I just want the numbers.
so if it was D, would it just be D equals 0, come on?
Yeah.
How did you get the 1?
B minus 1 equals 0. So B, move the negative 1 over, it's
Plus
positive 1.
Plus one.
Mhm.
Oh, so you just work it like.
Like normal, solve for the variable. Isolate the variable. All right,
This is gonna be on our quiz too, right?
How do you solve for zero? Or how do you make the number zero?
how do you what?
Make the number zero.
B equals 0.
Ooh.
That's all you got.
So.
I mean, you just take each factor.
So if you had so is B zero in every equation?
No, over here we didn't have a greatest common factor of B.
So if you don't have a number in front of the letter, it's zero.
No, there wasn't a number here. So we didn't, all we worked with were the items in parentheses.
Oh.
But this one had a letter. But let me ask you this, Hensley. What if we had, I'm going to use that same problem, but let's say the greatest common factor ended up being, I'm making up the answer, okay?
Oh, okay.
So if the answer were 5, B minus 1 equals 0.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
Then we take each factor and make it equal 0. But watch this. We take 5 equals 0. Is that a true statement?
No.
So then the 5 is not part of the solution set. It would only be B equals 1. Okay, so it's got to be a true statement.
So would that be frowning? Wait, no, that would be.
We're not even talking about that. We're moving now to number 12.
12?
Mm-hmm. Oops. At the bottom. Oh, it won't let us. Okay.
This one's already set up for us, right?
It is already set up for us.
Oh,
Vivian,
I'm very lost.
on what? You got to be specific.
I'll just listen more for the next one.
Okay, watch this
You
one.
just said it.
But if you don't, you've got to. I can't just go on law. I don't know where to start. Layton, I'm just before a referral. I really am, and I don't know. Maybe I should already go there. I've been as kind as I can about all that. Stop it. Thank you. All right. We need to. What's the first thing we're going to do with this? Since it's all set up,
GCF, try and find GCF.
we look for GCF.
There is none.
There is none.
GCS?
So then what do we do?
Like
Put
set
it
it
in,
up.
put it in
Set it up in
square
parentheses.
plus variable plus.
Set it up in your parentheses. We start the word is factor it. So are we going to be adding or subtracting?
Subtracting.
Subtracting.
And okay,
Wait, how do we?
what will our signs be?
Negative and positive.
No,
No, negative and negative.
2 negatives.
Wait.
Because the 4 is positive, which means same. Because anytime the last one is positive, the items being multiplied together carry the same sign. And we look at the first one.
Pairs make positive.
What?
2 negatives.
Pairs make positive.
So okay. Then you look to the first number, and it's a negative, so that means that the 2 pairs that make a positive were negative pairs. All right.
So if you have a positive, why can't you just put 2 positives instead of 2 negatives trying to make a positive?
What happens when you add 2 positives? What do you get?
A positive.
Right. And we need it to be a negative when we add.
Oh,
But I thought you said
at
look at
least
the last
one
number.
negative. Yeah, why don't you just do 2 positives?
They have me
Why do
so
you do 2
confused right now.
If I use 2 positives, I will never have a negative 8.
And you need a negative.
I need a negative
Because
8.
whenever you do outer or inner, it has to equal the middle number.
And it has to be negative.
Beat my head against the
Oh my
I
goodness.
feel like I'm on bars.
Broken.
I'm still
I
confused
feel like
about
I'm in a
Quadratic.
dream.
Oh.
I'm in a paradox.
Also, I have a question. Were you the one that said flagella? I'm like actually.
Okay, y'all.
talking about?
She's talking about science.
I'm trying to finish this lesson in a recording. So,
They're making it
So
over.
what was frowning having?
That's graphing. We're not doing graphing. Worry about it later.
I'm so sorry I showed that.
She was
I
just saying, she was
apologize.
just showing you something. She was being generous.
So that is optional.
Don't talk.
That was
about it.
TMI.
Yes.
2 and 2.
That was
No,
TMI.
it's 2 and 2.
Yes.
The flagella.
So,
Take
Grace
that.
has moved us through the lesson.
It's the whip like tail.
I feel bad for
3 times 2, me too. And we have a lot of people out, so they're going to be watching it. And poor things, figuring out where to go next. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6.
Oh, we've only done 3. Probably.
2 times a negative 2 gives us the negative 2. When we add 2 negatives, we get a negative.
Negative 8v, which is the middle number.
Yes, when we multiply, we get a positive. But when we add, we need to get a negative because it says so right there. So when we solve to find our answers,
We have to.
oh my goodness. So watch, this one's different, guys. It's a little more complicated.
I feel like it's already solved.
3, we don't know what the v equals.
Isn't there a sign that's like
3v, Hensley, we're doing this. 3v minus 2 equals 0. So 3v equals positive 2 when you move it. So v equals, we get a fraction, 2/3. Leave it.
So you can have fraction. What happened to that?
Leave
I was
it.
actually getting it.
I don't care.
you turn the 8 to 0?
So you can have fractions.
It just fell out of my mouth. Well, you can have fractions. I said it twice.
Yeah.
How do you graph fractions?
There's so much conundrum going
I
on there.
can understand.
Oh, where,
Then v minus 2, look at your vocab.
hold on, where'd the 8 go?
And then b equals 2.
There is no 8.
He's saying what happens.
2/3 and 2.
We created the 8 right there.
Oh.
What happened?
Hey, she was just showing us that
Oh.
that it equals that.
Oh, so whenever you get the middle number, it cancels out and you're
There's
wrong
no
with it.
going.
No, I'm having a genuine question.
Hensley, she,
It
alright,
cancels out.
hold on guys, just listen. The negative 6 and the negative 2.
They go to the back.
So the
She's
answer
showing you-
She's checking it. She's checking it.
I
Yeah,
know.
it's checking.
So the problem that we're doing under is to find.
I want
She's
you
just working it out.
To find the
Okay,
next.
if you would be all the way quiet and let me walk all the way through it.
She said the word.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out.
I want you to do this for just a minute, okay? Seriously, and just listen. So, you're going, when you, do you just nod? Do you agree with 3v minus 2, v minus 2? I can't even talk. Do you agree with our factors, yes or no? Our parentheses, yay. Okay, then this right here showed us that we were right. We said that 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, and we had the negative 2. That gives us negative 8. That was showing the outer and the inner. Then, that's the negative 8. Then this, we take each factor, 3v minus 2, and make it equal 0. And then the v minus 2, oh, I didn't put it equal 0. And then when we solve for this, we get v equals 2/3. And when we solve for v minus 2, it gives us 2. So the solution is v is 2/3 as well as 2.
And you're
May I
done.
please get one?
No.
So is this?
And you're done.
And I'm done. What? Now for your
I'm
question.
confused at this point.
Don't
She needs a tutor.
bother her.
I don't need a tutor.
No, talk to me,
Okay.
not him.
Okay, so I understand like the first part and how we got to negative 8, but why does the negative 8 just vanish? I'm really confused.
Why is the negative 8 what?
Vanish. Where is it?
It doesn't vanish.
Then why do we
What's she
need
saying?
negative
Is
eight?
Negative 8
Dr.
is
Gales.
in
It's-
She
it's-
thinks that it's in the
checking it.
equation.
We're checking it to make sure.
She thinks that it's in the
Okay,
equation.
so,
Just listen, she's got it. Just listen.
why are we doing a second equation?
Okay, so you got this part. This part makes sense?
No, I understand how to do it.
All right, then what it is it's factoring. Our lesson today is taking it one more step where we're solving. We're having to find out what in the world is V equal.
Okay.
V is everywhere,
Oh,
but
could
what
be-
does it represent? What? Do what? So, we take each factor. What happened to the 2?
You touch it.
I'm just confused about the 8.
Wait, can I just say, I know exactly
Well,
what
the 8 is created.
Show us that it equals.
It's
Okay.
it by the outer and the inner of foiling.
So the question is not really a question, that's the answer.
Wait, can I?
Oh!
Okay, see the V?
So, if I take 2,
That's the answer, not
Carlisle.
the question.
Carlisle, if I take 2 and I plug it in right here,
Yeah,
both
so that's-
places, I get 0 equals 0.
Oh, no. What? So.
But Dr. Graham, can I say what? Can I
3v
tell
minus
them
2
what you're
equals
trying to say?
0. I'm confused.
Okay, just hold on and talk.
So look, what we're trying to see is, so do you see in the problem it says negative 8v?
That's
up
not
there?
the problem. I said
Just listen. Do you see where it says negative 8v up there?
Yes, we see that.
Okay. Well,
Be nice.
what we did at the top equals negative 8. That means that like we
No.
did it right. So
Y'all, be nice.
No, I'm confused.
I just told you how to do it.
That's what
I
you
know
didn't
how to do
say
that.
for
You
the
said
last
say that again.
20 minutes.
No, I know how to do that. That's what we've been
Alright, well,
doing.
Carlisle
I'm
does
confused While we're doing 3v minus 2 equals 0.
Say that
She just
So you see up there where it says
Oh,
negative
Zero.
okay.
in the question?
All right, look at this. Look at this part.
And so you have to figure out how V is and how to figure out what V
I know
is.
what
You
you're
have to
out-
do that.
Where is
So-
the negative
That is
two
exactly
coming
what
from? I thought
it
there was 2 negative.
3
Okay,
times
just
2
all right,
equals negative
watch
6.
this. We ended up solving v minus 2. Shh.
Negative 8.
Is this
Oh.
Guys,
Okay.
we solved v minus 2 equals 0, so v equals 2. If you take that and plug it in, you get 12 minus 16 plus 4.
Which is negative 8.
12 minus 16 is what? What's 12 minus 16?
That's 0.
Negative 4. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0. Carlisle, hush. So 0 equals 0. That means this is a solution. 2 is a solution for the options for V. So is 2/3.
Okay, so I understand that 0 equals 0, but I'm confused where you got the 4 from. Did you take it out of the equation?
Where did I get a? It's 2 squared.
It's the 4's in there.
What's 16 minus 12?
This
What's
right
16?
here, I took 2 and I squared it. 2 squared
Well, that's
is 4.
3. Is that
8
not
times
3?
2 is 16.
The V. Alright, so we found out what what the V is. The V is
Oh,
2,
so
so
we're
then you plug
plugging
it back
it
in.
in.
I was trying to show you it's the solution to the problem.
I'm so confused. So,
Like, you did the 2 squared part.
wait, so the thing that's in the circle, negative 6 minus
Nothing.
negative.
Just ignore the 8 at this point, Carlisle.
I understand the whole thing except for where we
erase
get.
that.
I give
Get
up.
that out of
Just keep going. Just keep going. It's okay.
You don't know where we got 3v minus
You're
2?
gonna have to record another class.
Is that just are we breaking the clumpies down into 2 separate parentheses?
We're factoring them, yes. That's what the directions said. We've been factoring every problem.
Oh, we're just working out the foil. So we're
And
just
then
working
we
out
take what we get with our binomials and solving for the variable to show us what the
I know.
solution
Oh,
set is.
I'm caught up now. I understand.
We've been doing this since second term working for.
Second grade.
Term.
We were
God.
we're not
I'm about to run
foiling.
into a brick wall.
We're not foiling in the second term. This is the first time I've ever seen foil.
What are you even talking about?
You're out of here.
Are we not foiling the foil?
I feel like I'm back up second
Can you
term.
get a resource, please?
All right.
Who makes better grades, me or Brogan, Dr. Graham?
You! I'm ugly saying that, but do you see me asking these dumb questions?
I'm just trying to make
We've
sure.
just been on this podcast.
Maybe that's why you
about
make
this.
bad.
Hey,
Maybe
you
you
short enough
make
to be honest.
better grades if you ask questions.
Everyone else is gonna make
Yeah.
bad grades.
So it was stuck on
Hey,
negative
guys.
8 for.
I wasn't stuck on
Stop. Both of you. It's not time to entertain ninth grade.
You're stuck on three.
And I feel like that's what y'all have done today. One, two, three. Pass it back. All right,
We're doing.
we're not through.
And now I have science next.
Oh, we do
Shh. Careful. You got that. All right.
Are you still video?
Yes, I'm still video. Hadn't
No, you're
stopped.
actually gonna have to record another class.
I don't have another class to record.
They can just skip through that.
Don't you
This
have
might be the
video?
only time I actually go and watch a video.
All right. Stay with me. Whew. So
Sometimes the videos
the
actually-
product of twice a number. Now the product. How many times? What normally we're multiplying at least how many numbers when we multiply?
2.
2. Okay, that means we got to find two different things to multiply. So the product of twice a number increased by 3. What does that look
2x
like?
plus 3.
Thank you. And then it says and, so we're going to find out what the next number is that we're multiplying. A number decreased by 2.
X minus 2.
Yeah.
Equals 0.
Yes, is 0.
Good.
All right.
Paid off.
The product of this. So then what we need to do is solve it.
So you like separate it? Like,
This is where we take each factor and make it equal 0.
2x minus 2 equals 0.
What?
No,
Just
no,
throw
this
numbers
is a factor. 2x plus 3.
So
We
negative
make
three-
it equal 0. X minus 2 is a factor. Make it equal 0.
Oh, so we're just dividing.
So it's.
That's what we've been doing in this last class the whole period.
Yeah, I understand.
I hope so. So 2x equals negative 3. And then divide by 2. So first one, x equals negative 3 over 2.
Negative 2/3.
Negative 3 over 2. And then, not 2/3, 3 over 2.
She had it for a second. Too.
And then you say x minus 2 equals 0. So x equals 2.
I question.
Oh dear.
It's not like that. Does
Okay.
it matter whenever we say like our answer, like x equals negative 3 over 2, comma 2? Does it matter which way we put it?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. So, do you see how we set up number 1 and how we
So,
got the answer?
X equals negative 3 is out one of our answers.
Negative 3 over 2 as well as 2. Those are your answers. Those are the two numbers.
Yeah, I thought that's what I was.
You said
that's
negative
what-
3.
You left off the, but yeah, over 2. Okay. Then, number 2.
X squared
Uh-huh.
minus 6
Okay.
equals 10.
Perfect.
Okay.
Is that it?
Well, that's the word, the symbols for the words.
Don't we have to move
Now
it?
we start working. Yes, Car, move it over.
I don't really like
Put her in
the
standard form.
3.
X squared minus 6 minus 10 equals 0. So what is minus 6 minus 10?
Negative 16.
Yes, it is. X squared
Oh, wait.
minus 16. Okay, guys.
Ooh, I get it.
What is x squared minus 16? Remember, put on your thinking caps.
Wait, why don't we have
Like
8?
parentheses.
No, 4. 4, 8.
There, what is it called? X squared minus
So
they're-
x equals
Negative 4.
difference of.
Perfect square.
Oh, Vivian! Ding, ding, ding! Right. I love it.
Wait, why is there no?
Oh, so it would be
Oh.
negative. So it's the 4s. You use the 4s
Here we go.
because 16
Talk
divided
so
by
fast,
4 is
I'm so
4.
confused.
I understand.
You
Wait,
say you
why?
understand that it's like.
I
What's
literally
3
just
plus
got
5? I understand, but I'm randomly say 49.
All right. Whoa, guys, stop it. So x equals 4 negative 4. Because this would be negative 4. X plus 4.
You have to
X
put
is
it in
negative 4.
parentheses.
And then
I
x.
thought you said we can't do commas.
Like that was for like.
What?
Never said.
No, I said we can't do.
Parentheses.
We can't do ordered pairs. All right.
Hold up.
This next one is a doozy and it's fun. Yes. Hold up. What?
Never mind. I'm
You
good.
sure?
Positive.
I have a
No, ask
question.
it.
Okay.
I
You can't
figured
do
it out on my
parentheses,
own.
Right?
You can't do not because that would mean it's an ordered pair.
Gotcha. I don't think I've ever.
But you can do
Do you
brackets.
have to?
Have to what?
Like,
You can either do it like this.
or you can do it like.
You can do it in the little bracket
Okay, so
thingies.
you wouldn't count
X
wrong.
minus 4
Just
equals
don't give it
96.
to me as an ordered pair.
Okay.
And you could do it x equals something and x equals something. You can have two x's equaling something, just not ordered pair. All right. Find two numbers. How do we represent two numbers?
X and
X and Y.
Woo! Woo! Look at y'all.
Yeah.
So, find two numbers whose difference. What's a difference? What operation? So, x minus y equals 4. Girls, hush. And then their product, xy equals 96.
wait.
Can you stack these?
Oh, product.
Divide.
Conjunction, junction.
We just divide 96 by 2 and just. put
No, we don't. looking at
I'm a little confused.
time.
Are you did?
We will pick up from here.
Perfect. Okay. Perfect.